You know how annoying it is being a somewhat low car when normal SUV headlights are just at the perfect level so that they look like a high beam just burning into your eyes? That's what's happening right now. I want this guy behind me to f off. Anyways, hey, we're on the way to pick up the Strut Spacers. We are heading out to visit Tony, and we're going to actually meet him for the first time now. I've spoken to him over the phone. I've had parts delivered to him so that we can get the Strut Spacers made, because obviously it's a one-off custom item. When everyone told me no, and I did try a few places to get custom spacers made, we approached Tony as kind of a last resort, and he said yes straight away. So really thankful for Tony putting himself out there to make this, and it is the only reason at this point that I'm able to even have the spacers. I'm hoping once that's done that the suspension can travel properly, that I'll remove some knocks, be able to put the suspension on soft and still have room for the car to breathe so I don't bottom out on anything and we don't have to deal with a harsh ride that it's going to be. And I'm very excited because that'll be one of the final pieces that I need to keep going with this thing. We've only got a week and a half left, and not only is there stuff to do in general, but we've got the car throwing random faults that I think are all sorted now. Replaced the map sensor. I've mentioned it in a previous video that I've fixed the map sensor issue, but now I've adjusted the mixtures and gotten it to a decent enough place to drive. I'm going to touch them up a little bit further later in this video, or maybe during the trip, who knows. Hayden's going to adjust the timing so that we can run 91, and there's no 98 out there. Apparently there's some that's labeled as 98, but it's kind of questionable, so best to tune it on 91. I've replaced a couple of vacuum lines because I went to push it the other night and the car itself. I was panicking a little bit, thinking we haven't fixed the sensor issue. Last night I picked up the final spare tyre. At this point I'm thinking I might be putting 2 tyres on the roof and 2 jerry cans. If I can have the tyres on the roof, I obviously have a lot more boot space. I'm going to use the HKS oil filter supplied by Yakuza Motorsports. I'm going to be using the HKS oil as well, just here, also supplied by Yakuza Motorsports. So an interesting thing about these filters is that this is what was on the car, Z418. An example of the HKS one is here. It's so much smaller. It's almost like it's for a smaller engine. I looked it up, and it's actually for a 2J. It suits 2J, 3S, 1J, etc. But this center section here is actually, I don't know if the camera shows it well enough, is actually slightly bigger than this. But the housing is huge. So the strut spacers have been made and they are now here. They are beautiful. These 4 are going to be used to sit on the top of the coilover, and it's going to allow me to bring the coilover back in because they're at full extension at the moment, and I need to actually wind them back in a bit so they can operate properly, but it's also going to give me a little bit more height. Made by Envios Customs. When I went to pick these up and visited Tony, he showed me a lot of his other work that he's done, and he is a perfectionist. For any custom fabrication, Tony is your guy. He's actually gone ahead and made them full solid all the way around, as you can see here. And they actually get mounted from in here. Now, while that might be a little bit more difficult to bolt on, it just basically ensures that there is absolute strength. We're going to be going out pretty far and we're going to be going through a lot of rough corrugation, so the last thing I would want is a spacer to crack. Also just got this spare alternator reconditioned. It's been sitting in the garage for years. I've now found a reason to have a spare. I was always going to get to replacing it, but I just hadn't done it yet. But here it is, all good to go with 12 months warranty. The trawler! The trawler has arrived!
And Jess got a mullet.
What do you mean? Oh, yes!
It's lucky you made it here, eh?
Hello. Lucky I made it here. We got 6,000 Ks to do soon.
I'm Nissan man, not this.
Oh no.
Holy
Stats and scum.
No. Nissan! So that's a dirty 30. So 60 series. Fuck, this is so slow to type with cold hands. 60 series Land Cruiser, a bit more vintage.
Oh.
Bit of a competitor of a GQ Patrol. This competitor. Not even close to a GQ Patrol. You look at that, and then you look at this. Heaps easier to type. GQ Patrol comes up in the recent searches. Look at that. Absolutely premium. Same colour scheme, but more capable. Didn't die on the way. The best Land Cruiser ever made was either the 80 series. Surely it was made in the 80s. That's why it was called the 80 series. I don't know, because I'm not a Land Cruiser expert. But why would you buy that when you could go out in the market and at the same time buy a GU Patrol? The best thing ever designed. Look at that. No, that's the dream car.
Yeah.
If when the prawn trawler dies on this trip, I'm just gonna drop a whole bomb on a GU Patrol. I didn't say that, darling. You're alright. You'll keep going. Righto, let's do a trawler walk around. This is the Mighty Prawn Trawler. As you can see here, lots of beach access stickers because I spent a lot of time on the beach now. Not a lot of time on dirt because I broke it too much. We're sitting on 32.5-inch tyres, BF Goodrich KO2s. Imitation beadlock, because we're all about that style. Torsion bars front, leaf sprungs rear. It's the only IFS suspension car that I've ever seen to lift wheels. That's just because the front's so stiff and the back's so rear. So loose. Too many lemon squats. Prawn trawler because it drives like a boat. So we've got a 2-inch extension Mungie banana shackle in the back. Mungie's the premium 4JJ1 Holden Colorado brand for upgrades. You can see the rust here, more of a salt. Definitely needs a respray. That's why it's so loose. You got your banana shackles, angle fridge, fold out kitchen, tool drawer, camping drawer. Even Nana loves to go on camping trips with me now. Fishing rod rack, a fold down awning. That really needs a tighten. That was the issue on the highway today.
Oh, bruh.
That's because I'm only running one rack just to keep the redneck spirit alive. Iron Man side steps. One of the boys, the Boilermaker, had to do a few extensions when I did a few modifications and body lifted it. Look at that. James Collins Welding Services.
What welding? There's nothing there.
I don't see
Can't
it.
even see it.
Even painted them. Iron Man bull bar. You can even see where the Iron Man bull bar's gone walkabout from hitting kangaroos too many times. Those bolts shouldn't touch. That body mount's rooted. Brand spanking new Superior shocks. Not sponsored, they should.
Not sponsoring Super to Uluru featuring Prawn Trawler.
ECU shop, that's the throttle controller. That's when I was a poor P-plater and I wanted to make it drive faster without spending too much money on a chip. ECU shop throttle controller really just helps them get a bit more reactive because they got a lot of auto lag. The old 4JJ1. Hook that up, the other engine modifications and now absolutely sings. 3-inch straight through exhaust. K&N high flow air filter just so I can get that good turbo noise through the snorkel. Aftermarket grill made by Elizabeth. And Janszen cooks not straight light bar, which I didn't notice until then. Oh, that's why. I need to tighten before all through.
Yeah.
That'll be a last minute addition. First time we pull up to camp, I'll be fixing everything. But they are solid. I really wanted to get a set of steadies, but they light it up enough. So I'll be on there till they blow up, and then I'll get a set of steadies or I'll get a new ute. Whatever happens first. One thing I'm a massive fan of, the old Drifter Rooftop tent. I couldn't recommend it enough. They're phenomenal for the price. 90 seconds to fold out. All the space in the world, comfy as. That's the 1.4 model. I almost wish I got the 1.2 because it's a bit too big for the vehicle it's on. But I like it. I like it a lot. We're gonna get one in the Supra soon, and we'll turn this into an actual touring rig.
Yeah. Yeah, I wonder how he feels about that though.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't listen to Janszen's language.
Yeah, avoid Janszen's language.
I need to bring a chair. Where am I going to put my chair?